Welcome to the Gorafe Desert.
How amazing. So this is a high desert, so parts of this track that we're on now are at like 1,000 meters above sea level. So there's a bit of a nip to it in the air. The main track that we're on is like a proper off-road track.
Yeah, so if you thought that Badenas Reales Desert that we did a video on was amazing, this is already exceeding my expectations.
Yeah,
like
this is
so
awesome.
Much.
We just want this guy to go away because that's right where the sun is. We got up bright and early this morning to capture the nice light, but unfortunately that cloud has foiled our plans, but it will be gone pretty soon, I think. These are the famous troglodyte houses, or what once was. So the traditional dwellings in this area, in these badlands, are cut into the earth like this. Yeah, you'll have like little chimneys that pop out. And yeah, very, very cool. So there's just thousands of these all dotted over the countryside, the vast majority being completely abandoned. I don't know why they built into the rock. My assumption is that it gets unbelievably hot in the summer, and that's a way to stay a bit cooler. So a really interesting thing about this area, so back in the day, so I think it was millions of years ago, this area was completely surrounded by multiple mountain ranges, and so it created basically like an inland lake with all of this sediment, and then it gradually pushed a river through towards the Atlantic Ocean, and all this silt and deposit gradually flowed out into the ocean, creating this amazing landscape that we see. And this is also where the earliest hominids in Europe have been discovered. So earliest man was found right in this area. And there are these like Paleolithic sites dotted around here. They're called dolmens. There's basically an area just with like 200 dolmens all scattered around where prehistoric hominids had their house.
Where are you taking us? To the Gorafe Hotel. That looks pretty legit. Ugly. Look, what's there?
Let's go in.
Go in and explore. Wow. This is crazy. This is, oh my gosh, it's a house.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Is there anyone in here?
Not that I know of.
Oh my gosh, that's a bit spooky. What the heck? And there's even like a doll in the bed.
Yeah, what's the big step? Good boy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Gosh, where are we?
I know, right?
We're in someone's house.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Gosh, and that's like proper in the rock.
Yeah, the foot plaster on the walls.
You want to live here? Clean us a new house.
You know what? It's surprisingly warm.
Yeah, compared to outside.
You would think this place would be freezing, so that's very interesting. Okay, so it's warm in the winter and probably quite cool in the summer.
God.
I'm really surprised how mild it is in here. I would have thought it would have been really damp and just gross.
There's no chimney.
Yeah. Ange being a badass like usual and getting all the shots for us. So if you're appreciating all the really cool shots of Skadi driving around and the drone shots while I'm driving, big shout out to Ange in the comments because she goes the extra mile to get these.
I'm not sure if it's because it's low season, but this place is absolutely empty. But the main thing I love about the Gorafe Desert so far is its actual four-wheel drive. Like there's no chance a motorhome would make it easily through this road. So that removed a large portion of the camping scene in Europe, because here in Europe most of the people are the motorhome, and then they are the vans, two drive and four drive, which I would say maybe some 4-drive vans should be fine here.
Yeah, some definitely would be. A lot of the 4-drive vans are too low to the ground, or they have too big of a rear overhang, I've noticed. Some of the jacked up Sprinters would easily be able to do this so far, for sure. And obviously light little 4-wheel drives would just rip through. It's because it's not a matter of traction, there's just ample traction. So a small car could do it as long as you had the clearance. We do sometimes get a few people being like, you know, this is complete overkill, this vehicle, which, yeah, I fully agree with you. That's a good thing. You want the overkill vehicle because I don't know when this track is suddenly going to deteriorate to the point where this actually starts becoming damaging to the vehicle or scary for us.
Or maybe flood.
We can go down little tracks, we can scout them out, and I almost never have to worry about us getting stuck or in a situation where the vehicle's just not capable of going up or, you know, down a track, because we've got the low range gearing, we've got all the traction. So it's good, in my opinion, to have an overkill vehicle. It gives you a lot of peace of mind.
Yeah, and there aren't actually that many good 4x4 vehicle that can have a sufficient GVM and space for family of 3.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course we could get a Defender or even, I guess, a Land Cruiser, but they just, in our opinion, for long-term, full-time travel for a family of 3, just a bit too small. So the Volvo 6x6, we couldn't live in the Volvo 4x4. The 6x6 is definitely a good size, and yeah, we're happy with our choice.
I've told Ange that she should film here and I'll drive all the way over there and she can get a cool shot there, and then she'll have like a 20-minute walk to get to me, but she wasn't keen. Wow, that was really fun. I actually engaged the rear diff locks for the first time, but it just walked up like nothing. And we are still only in rear wheel drive. So we're still freewheeling the front because you might remember a couple of episodes ago I told you about the big cracking, popping noise. I still haven't fully investigated that. I really need somewhere perfectly flat where I can jack it up and use my jack stands. I try to avoid doing that as best I can because it's a bit suspect. It would be much nicer to do it with some proper jack stands and things like that. But anyway, that's for another day. So what I did do is I did investigate that front diff, dropped all the oil out of it to see if there was any metal shavings. There was nothing. So I really don't think it has anything to do with the diff. So that then narrows it down to maybe the CV or the 6x6 engagement from the transfer case. My guess is the CV is popping, but that would probably be best case scenario, to be honest. Have a go at this place. What do you reckon, guys?
The views on like both sides, probably like the highest point here in the desert almost. And look over there, there's snow.
There's snow there. So that is the Sierra Nevada mountains. Get a heap of snow on them actually, and there's a few ski slopes up that way. Not sure if we will check them out on this go around. We, as you know, really want to start getting towards slightly warmer weather instead of hanging around in those mountains there. But this part here is just fantastic, and it looks like we actually drive through it. Yeah, a lot of fun being out to off-road around here. This is cool. Spain! Oi!
Wow. I'm actually just shocked how beautiful this spot is. Don't know for the Americans watching, is that similar to what you would expect a little bit like? Is that the Spanish Grand Canyon? That's what I would expect, maybe like in a smaller scale, the Grand Canyon to be like. Wow, I'm just actually speechless. So to come to the Gorafe Desert, we actually took a little dirt road, which we had no idea what it was going to be. Ended up being quite cool. We went past like what looked like an abandoned village. Lots of those troglodytes houses, some caves. Like really cool to be able to just explore in Spain. There's no camping sign, no driving past sign. It's amazing. I really like that, and I find usually people respect the places. Compared to Australia, there's a lot less trash around as well. So amazing. I'm so glad that we came to Spain as our first proper overlanding destination. Look at that. Wow. So Chris just before was mentioning the Sierra Nevada in the distance with the snow, which is quite bizarre to have snow in the background of the desert. But it's actually the highest mountain in Spain. I think it's like 3,400 meters. So yeah, it's surprising that in the south of Spain there's actually some really high mountains and very cold weather. I thought the south of Spain would be super warm. So now we're in the region of Andalusia. So it's like the southernmost area of Spain. Not too sure what's next. What do you think? Should we go Morocco or Portugal? Yeah, let us know. Where do you think we should go next? Because yeah, we're discussing at the moment our options. Obviously there's in the back in our mind the engine swap, which we still don't know where we're gonna do it. So if you've got any cool garage where we could do it, let us know as well. I think I'm officially at the highest point of the desert. Yay! Gorafe Desert, you are amazing.
Yay! Yay!
We then made our way down a beautiful dry riverbed. As we headed down, we spotted some wild mountain goats prancing along the cliffs. The young ones looked like they were having a lot of fun. The riverbed was narrow in parts, but we had no issues in Scotty. You certainly wouldn't want to be here in a flash flood. We then climbed our way back up some switchbacks to 900 meters elevation, and were rewarded with a beautiful landscape on all sides. We then turned off of the main track, which started a little off camber. It always makes me quite nervous. It ended up being a big mistake going down this new trail, but more on this later. We ended up finding a very nice camp and had lunch with stunning views. Is it coffee time?
It is coffee time.
Yay!
I'm trying very hard to avoid having a second coffee, but today I really feel like it. I guess because we've arrived at camp so early.
What a view to make coffee.
What a view.
One thing though about coffee in Spain, not too impressed. The coffee in Spain hasn't been that great tasting.
No.
I mean, they are not always the supermarket we go to are not the huge ones, so there are not many options. There might be some coffees that are really good, but where we go, I haven't found so far a nice coffee.
Yeah, some of them have started to give me the jitters like I used to get in Australia. So
which is bad quality.
And builds
ones.
my anxiety up. So I think I get an intolerance to coffee after a while, even though only having 2 a day. So I think very soon, cold turkey, bring on the 2 weeks of headaches, and then I'll probably feel like $1 million afterwards, I'd say. We have just parked up in what's called the Los Colorados area of the Gorafe Desert. That name because of the red ochre colours you get at sunset through these striations and strata through the cliff face here. So these rise up to 150 meters high. It's stunning. And then on the other side, you've got some banded rock through here. But we're in a nice flat spot, and I mean, there's not exactly a lot of places to camp around here, so this is perfect. We've got views all around. Our boy is happy. Got the kilos gear chairs out. So I saw someone asked in our previous video, said, why don't you have camp chairs? We never get them out because we're always on
when you have a toddler, you can't sit and relax.
Exactly. But we may have figured something out here, which is nice. So they're like collapsible chairs. They're quite lightweight. But the thing we like about them more than our chairs in Australia is they've actually got a back to them for your headrest. So they're good. I'm very happy with them so far.
Alright, and I'm gonna wait for my coffee to be served.
Princess Anne.
Yeah, so Oakley is very good at playing by himself, but it's just obviously we are always in places where it's a bit dangerous for him. We don't want him to...
There you go, my dear.
Oh, thank you very much. We don't want him, you know, to go and fall off a cliff, so we always have to be a little bit more on call and can't 100% relax. But right now, I think we're good.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Hi. We need to get you a pair of sunnies too, don't we?
Do you want to show your cool bulldozer?
Yeah, look at the dump truck.
Oh, dump truck, my bad.
Come on,
I should know better.
Watch out, hot coffee.
Boy's mom should know better.
Look at this little guy. Those little white legs. He's got just as white legs as I have. Want to sit on Daddy's lap? I know, you can sit on Daddy's chair. Wow. That looks fun. Hey, cute stuff. You want out? You want to run around? 1, 2, 3.
What do we have here?
Don't really know. Look at that crystal. It's almost like a desert rose, isn't it? It's got like a brown... Yeah, that's quite cool. When we were driving through a dried up riverbed before, we passed a rock and I kind of noticed it shining out of the corner of my eye, and it was just covered in crystals like this. Really fascinating. So I grabbed these ones just off the ground. They'd kind of broken off it because I was sort of falling out of this clay matter. Any geologist can tell me what type of crystal is that? Is that just like a quartz crystal? And if it is, why is there brown in it? Fascinating. I really used to have a mad crystal and rock collection and fossil collection as a young kiddo. That's pretty cool.
All right, preparing to go for a little run.
Yeah, so I think I need to be smart and scout.
So we just went for a little walk with Oakley just on the road. It was really nice. We just wanted to scout the next mirador and the potential tracks. It was really cool. We saw what looked like maybe a vulture nest. Let us know if you know what that was.
This?
Like, it looked really... We've never seen anything like this before. And then there was another little troglodyte's little cave house, which we went into as well. And it's all super well preserved. You can just access it and explore it yourself, which we love. We saw an expedition truck, a main truck from Germany. We haven't seen any other car today, so yeah, that was cool. He's not too sure if he's gonna do the track that we came in today because it is quite narrow and it's a big track. I'm not too sure how he would do, so we gave him our recommendation. Don't know what he will do, but yeah, he's parked just down the road. And yeah, Chris is gonna go for a little run to scout for us.
Yeah, got my headphones. I'll bring you guys with me. And we'll see just how gnarly, because the section that I walked down was no joke. So yeah, I don't want to send us down some horrific thing, because we may or may not have just had a little bit of an experience down there that we didn't film before. So yeah, let's not be too arrogant with our capabilities. All right, let's do this.
What song are you putting on?
What song am I? I think I'm going to put some psytrance on and go proper fast down here. Let's do it. Okay, just ran about a K and a half back to here. So this is basically the start of a different trail, which we have seen on Wikiloc people have done, but it was years ago. So we saw some photos, didn't look bad, but this has gotten much worse. So it's going to be very hard to show you this with the GoPro, but it's steep and very rutted out. Scotty will have no issues coming down there at all, so that's nothing to worry about. Actually, I thought I would show you this when I had a look before. Check this out. So check this gaping hole in the earth. So we got this beautiful rock here, and then check this out. Let's go down real slow. This is suspect as. Don't know if you could see the bottom there. I can see the bottom, but that's like a good 20 meters down, and then it might even go lower than that. So that's a crazy sinkhole. I guess maybe over time just tons of water has been barreling down there and just chewed it out. Okay, so rest of this downhill section, not so bad here. I can straddle that. It's probably here that it gets a bit more gnarly. Okay, I'll stop you there and I'll carry on down and do the uphill section over there. Cool. Whoa! All right, now we got the uphill. It's not so bad at all. Waste of time me coming here. Easy straddle. Wow. Spain is epic. How do more people not know about this place? So, Ange just mentioned we ran into a German fella with an MAN truck. He was terrified to camp here. You know, what if the cops come? Guardia Civil. It's like, mate, this isn't a national park. You can pretty much camp anywhere you like, within reason in a place like this, as long as you don't leave anything outside of your vehicle. To the Spanish authorities, that then means you're sleeping overnight, that you're not camping, which I just love. So it stops dirtbags setting up a bunch of stuff everywhere and just means you can enjoy this place overnight. Wow. And why wouldn't you? It's why we build vehicles like this as overlanders, right? And so we can do stuff like this. This is mental. The other thing we're really noticing is this will be a dirt bike rider's paradise. Even like a cross-country motorbike paradise. This makes me want to get my license so bad and do like a tour group through here. Man, if you're into your biking, like the sort of stuff that Itchy Boots does, this would be mega. All right, this is pretty much the top. This will be really easy. So I feel better now about sending the family up without checking. I'll tell you the honest truth, and we didn't get any of this on camera because it was really hairy. I made a massive blunder earlier on before we got to camp. I thought I'd seen on Wikiloc that people had gone down kind of where we're camped there, down this trail, and I was wrong. I didn't double check. Even Ange said maybe we should double check. Oakley was asleep and I was hoping to keep him asleep by carrying on, and I took us down really full-on track. I might even film a little bit of it for you. So I made the decision to stop in the middle of the track and reverse. So we reversed back up this very steep section and did find a way to turn around thanks to Ange helping me do like a 10-point turn. And we got back up and out, but yeah, we were a bit rattled from it. It was gnarly as, and it looks like the road had basically just disappeared after a lot of rain, and it was only motorbikes going down it. But you couldn't tell unless I'd done a scouting mission like what I've just done now for like half a kilometer, and I didn't. I apologized to Ange. I was like, look, that wasn't my intention at all, which she knows, and no harm came of it. We got stronger as a team because of it. We can really see just how capable our vehicle is, and to be honest, I'm sure Scotty would have gone down, but the issue was we would have still had to have come back up no matter what anyway. So it was this double-edged sword type of arrangement, and yeah, I'm glad that we reversed and turned around, but thank goodness we've got the vehicle we had, because if I had poked a less capable vehicle lower down to the ground, or even a longer vehicle, we would have been in trouble then. Alright, so I'm going to run back down to the bottom here, and then what I might do is actually just scale one of these cliffs rather than having to run all the way back around. Let's give it a go. Following a goat track. That's where I came from here. I don't know if I'll call that a shortcut, but we're back on the road. Looks like the MAN truck is gone. It's gone down what we came up today. He's going to find that pretty tricky with how narrow it is, but hopefully he gets through okay. Well, apparently I've got to go straight into another walk with those. We'll get water afterwards.
Hi. Is that a very flattering angle for me?
Well,
Hi. Our drone has seen better days.
at this rate we might have to start a GoFundMe for getting a new drone, because man, this thing is cooked. Look at the glue holding it together. But that solder I did all that time ago in Australia is still held fast, which is really surprising to me.
Yes, because if you were not following the channel at the time, I flew the drone backwards into the biggest tree ever. Like, I could have not missed the tree. And that was just before we were going actually to the Simpson Desert in Australia. And it was a must to have a drone there, because you can't capture the desert without a drone. It's just takes it like to another perspective. So yeah, Chris like fixed it, and since then it's been doing great. I'm usually the one filming on the drone when we drive, and I must admit, even after almost 5 years of doing it, I still get super nervous about losing the drone. We're having some remote area connections as well. Like, our drone is 5 years old. That was such a good investment for us, and they're expensive, so I'm glad that we actually been able to keep it all that time. But yeah, it's seen better days. Whee!
So here was our turnaround point. Took quite a few turns, and I'll show you why we turned around. So this is quite steep, by the way. So we were all the way down here, and this is where we stopped. So we stopped here because of this. So yeah, big pop. I could have maybe straddled, it would have been really dodgy. Yeah, and then it carried on down here. Oh, that pipe sticks out all the way down. It's dodgy. Again, the camera just really does not do the track justice, but yeah, a bit gnarly. I guarantee Scotty would have done it, probably with minimum fuss. But if you have a look here, looks like the people who have come down, that looks like oil or something. They've smashed their diff on here. And if we broke down going downhill and had to come back up, yeah, obviously it's a disaster. So I'm really glad we turned around. But that's kind of where I draw the line on a track like that we really don't need to be on.
Day 2 in the Gorafe Desert. This morning we didn't expect. We woke up in such thick fog. The weather forecast was supposed to be beautiful blue sky. We couldn't see anything in front of us, but we still decided to drive because we just didn't want just to stay at camp and do nothing. So yeah, we tackled that little truck you rode yesterday.
Yeah, and it was a piece of cake because we could straddle the ruts really quite easily with some good wheel placement. So that was nice and smooth sailing. And then from there it's now pretty much just open dirt road, so it's not too eventful now, especially with this fog. So we're going to drive to two little towns, one of them being the town of Gorafe, and we will, I don't know, we'll probably try and just find a place to camp back on the ridgeline tonight so we can get a nice viewpoint. Alrighty, so we finished the track. Beautiful clear sunny day now that fog all burnt off. We've got the beautiful town of Gorafe behind us, and you can see the little troglodyte homes over in the corner there. Really cool. And we have our next mechanical problem to now deal with. The mechanical fuel pump attached to the B30 engine has started to not pump enough fuel to give us enough power to get up to normal road speed. So I've spent the last couple of hours tinkering around and making sure that there's no fuel blockages, which there doesn't seem to be. I've run a new fuel line entirely from the tank to the fuel pump. That doesn't seem to be the problem. So yeah, it looks like the mechanical fuel pump just isn't performing its job so well anymore. So we've got at least a week to wait for one of those from Tatanka. So we now need to decide
where and when.
And not just that, can we be on main roads with traffic, or do we need to now just start taking kind of remote roads in order to slowly make our way to maybe somewhere like Malaga? So yeah, there's always something going on with that engine, to be honest. I won't talk any more about that. You can imagine how I feel about that engine by now.
So we decided to end the day on a more chill note. Someone in a comment in a previous video recommended that we tried 3 Spanish beers. There was Cruz Campo, Alhambra, and the third one was Estrella del Sur. Unfortunately, where I went shopping, I couldn't find it. So this is the 2 that we're going to try, because apparently they are better than San Miguel.
All right.
So we'll be the judge of that.
So these have probably been a bit shaken up, so let's see. Oh, not so bad.
I think mine was.
Alhambra Especial.
I'm not a big beer drinker, so don't expect from me a full-on review on the aromas and the delicacy of the beer.
That's really nice.
Oh yeah, I think I like the Alhambra better.
This has got a little bit more of an after note to it. I think I prefer the Alhambra Especial as well. This is still very nice.
So Alhambra is this beautiful palace that is in Granada. We actually went there, what was that, like what, 2 years?
Maybe 2 years ago.
And yeah, it's beautiful over there. So we probably won't go back to Granada this time because we've explored it already. But yeah, that was a really nice trip that we had done in Spain, actually.
We had an amazing time in Spain when we went. I proposed to Ange in Sevilla after we spent some time in Granada. So we had a few weeks over in Spain. It was beautiful. And then we spent a bunch of time in Mallorca.
Yeah, Mallorca was amazing. We actually considered shipping the truck there from Denia, so just next to Alicante. But the pricing of the ferry to go there was mind-blowing. So we gave up on the idea. I'm not too sure if
it was the better part of €1,000.
Oh, it was crazy, yeah. So
to get Skadi just like an hour's boat ride.
Yeah, no, we'll rather keep that money for
in the low
another
season.
Adventure.
Like, what was that all about?
I'm not too sure, yeah.
You know.
So yeah, that's us. Not too sure where the next episode will take place.
Hopefully, we might even try and push for a desert called the Tabernas Desert.
Yeah, so we can tick all the deserts.
Yeah, and I kind of need to be driving on normal roads and just see how she's performing, because she's performing fine off-roads at the lower speeds, but as soon as I try and get some power, that's when she starts bogging down quite badly. So I don't know if it's going to get worse. We might just be able to kind of limp our way around the place.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Potentially, by the time you see this video, we will have just reached 100,000 subs on YouTube, which is pretty crazy.
It's like our fifth year, I think, on YouTube. So yeah, it takes a long time.
We are very proud to have reached it now because, man, it's been a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's crazy. Like, hats off to all the YouTubers with huge amounts of subs. My goodness. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.